joining us now is Kachi Ofia with stories trending around the world. Hello, Kachi. Please catch it.
Good morning.
Yes.
I love the fact that that is becoming a thing. Good morning, Dr. Abasi. Good morning,
Good morning.
Good morning, Adesua.
Good morning.
Morning.
Now, the U.S. President Joe Biden has called on the New York Governor Andrew Cuomo to resign following an explosive official report that said Andrew Cuomo sexually harassed 11 women. Now, the bombshell report released by the New York Attorney General Letitia James' office provided corroborated accounts of alleged harassment by Cuomo that included unwanted groping, kissing, hugging, inappropriate comments, including claims from one executive assistant who says that Andrew Cuomo reached under her blouse and grabbed her breast. Now, she said the investigation also found that the Democratic governor had retaliated against at least one former employee for complaining about his actions. Now, President Biden has now joined House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and other Democratic lawmakers in calling for Andrew Cuomo to resign. Now, the thing is, after 168 page reports, this was the body of work that came together over this alleged sexual harassment of 11 women, and it was published. Now, the thing is, should Andrew Cuomo be impeached or choose to resign, New York Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul would be next in line and would become the state's first woman to hold that position. That is history right there. Now, she has said that she believed the woman who accused Andrew Cuomo, she called his behavior repulsive and unlawful, but she did not call on him to resign. And again, due to the fact that the lieutenant governors stand next in line of succession, she would not be commenting further on the process. This is also in line with what we've seen as a fallback from the Me Too movement, which saw Hollywood heavyweights like Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey go down. Even his brother on CNN, Chris Cuomo, has been condemned for advising his brother on this scandal.
No doubt, Kachi, that Governor Cuomo is by the day losing allies. The calls are growing. Democratic governors in surrounding states have also issued a joint statement asking him to resign. But the irony for me is that in 2019, Governor Cuomo actually signed sex harassment law in the workplace. So you would wonder why he's not familiar with the law he signed. He's the governor, so he should have known better. His response, for me, didn't do much. We know that he's responded. I think that was even more damning. He said some of his behavior might have been misconstrued. And he has spoken specifically to one of the accusers, his former assistant, Charlotte Bennett. He says he knows that he asked her questions he would not ask people normally. And we've seen videos of him singing to her. She has said he was asking for nothing but a relationship. He wanted a girlfriend. But I think there's also a pattern for, unfortunately, New York governors and politicians, from Governor Elliott to Governor Patterson and, of course, Governor Cuomo. So there's a pattern, and he has seen what has happened to those two previous governors. My suggestion is he steps aside. He resigns. It doesn't look good for him.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
What has he been accused of? He's been accused of inappropriate behavior towards women, groping women, including throwing his hand into the, inner parts of a woman and trying to grab her mammary glands, and also, harassing staff, creating a climate of fear, around the office environment, all of which violate both state laws and federal laws. He's also been accused of, violating the basic laws. But he says that he's an Italian American and that he's just being himself, touching women all over the corridor and, putting his hands in inappropriate, ordinarily inaccessible locations. But is this about culture? No. If you look at the laws, what the Attorney General of the state of New York is saying, what the district attorney is saying, what the federal laws are indicating is that no, it's not about culture. You can't say you're an Italian American, you'll be putting your hands in places where you are not permitted to do so. And I think it's on the basis of that that the President of the United States, President Joe Biden, has joined those, both locally and at the state level and at the federal level, who are saying that he should vacate the office and resign honorably.
Resign.
If he fails to do that, then, impeachment proceedings should be commenced against him. The thing, of course, is that that's the responsibility of the State House of Assembly, of the House of Representatives at the state level. And all of that process, according to the law, can be concluded within a space of about 4 weeks. So he's being adamant is not an issue. However, if you want to sympathize with Andrew Cuomo, you can say at one level that he won't be the first governor to resign. Elias Pisa, before him, who was governor before him, was accused of being involved in a prostitution ring. And the matter was so escalated that he had to resign. But again, if you want to sympathize, you will say, well, his misfortune is that he's not a governor in Nigeria, in a Nigerian state. If this had been a Nigerian governor, this would not be an issue at all. In fact, can you imagine a young girl in Nigeria complaining that one governor is groping him, is touching him? The ordinary response from many Nigerians would be that, what do you want? A governor is interested in you. You are complaining. Is it a mechanic that you want or a vulcanizer? So this is a difference in terms of culture. And if any woman, all those 11 women had been Nigerians, people would have told them, what is wrong with you people? Go and be wife number 4 and wife number 5 to a man who is in a privileged position. 2 cultures, 2 different perspectives. But within the American setting, this is unacceptable behavior. And we hope that Nigeria will get to that level someday where the dignity of women will be respected.
I mean, and that's why the child right law has not been passed in many states in Nigeria. And that's why we had a campaign called Child Not Bride a couple of years ago, where a former governor wanted to marry an 11-year-old if he has not married that 11-year-old. But let's go straight to the issues. Cuomo is gone. As far as I'm concerned, is gone. He can't survive this. The facts are startling. Number one, he's not the first to do it. They've talked about Eliot Spitzer. There was another governor a couple of years back.
David Patterson.
Apart from even Patterson, there was another governor that was impeached of Illinois. That was even for a case of corruption. That's just to show you that he can be impeached. Rod Blagojevich, he went to jail. In fact, it was Trump that just brought him out and gave him a pardon. 2 things. 76 lawmakers now are ready to impeach him. They are ready. In fact, there are some members of the Democratic Party that he called up and was threatening them. And people in his own party, in the state House of Representatives, are angry with him. And the state Senate, like it's called in America, they're angry with him. So they're ready to impeach Cuomo as it is now. Apart from the impeachment, they're going to file charges against him. The district attorneys are already looking at this critically. So apart from impeachment, apart from him getting an impeachment, charges were filed against him. And you look and you say, when he says it's cultural, I say, is Cuomo okay? I don't think he is. This is a man that comes from somebody that his father was so much appreciated in America, Mario Cuomo. Mario Cuomo gave us so much political oratory. He was the one that said we campaign in poetry and govern in prose. And somebody would have thought that the son of Mario Cuomo would engage in such very dirty acts against women. And this was a man that respected women so much. How are the mighty fallen? Very sad.
I mean,
the question is this the end of his political career? It's still up in the air as regards that.
It's like it.
But he's as good as gone. Joe Biden has told him to go. The party is not in support of him again. It's best for him to resign today or tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, let's see how this situation eventually plays out, but I know it's not ending anytime soon. Let's talk about what's happening here in Nigeria, where the Nigerian Governors Forum, led by Ekiti Governor Kayode Fayemi, has explained why governors are not performing up to the required standard. Now, appearing as a special guest at the commissioning of the rehabilitated Boso Estate Road networks in Niger State, Fayemi said the drop in allocation from the Federation account has affected the performance of the governors. Now, he said governors are now forced to perform with the little resources available to them, as poor finances of states made it difficult to fulfill their election promises. Now, quite honestly, for first of all, this has not really held a lot of water for the people at the receiving end of, this very, very messy situation. I mean, there are so many questions that have been thrown up from this. Okay, so what about the state-imposed levies? What about the taxpayers' money? What about generating funds within the state as well? So this, for a lot of people, just comes off as another excuse, yes, again, for its inefficiency.
And I just have one thing to say from all of that, Kechi. Winners make adjustment, losers make excuses.
Excuses. Thank you, Adesola.
Well, governors cannot give any reason for inefficiency. If you look at that story very closely, the chairman of the Governors Forum was quoted as saying that the problem why states may not be performing is because there has been a reduction in the allocation from the federation account. The federation account, the mode of allocation, as explained in Section 162 of the 1999 Constitution. And this is the problem when we talk about national cake. Once upon a time in this country, the regions, the parts of the country, the states, used to be centers of productivity. But today, these are, beggarly parts of Nigeria. People must have talked about the Western region, how under the leadership of the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo, the Western region, in fact, sent representatives to the UK and other parts of the world. Cocoa money, cocoa revenue was used to provide infrastructure in different parts of the Western region. But with the military coming in and cannibalizing the country and turning it into units and all of that continuing, we have states in Nigeria now that are not centers of productivity. We need to make our various states centers of productivity. And I think it's really scandalous that governors are now complaining about, revenue from federation account has not increased. In fact, the governor of Kogi State was quoted as saying because of the pandemic and the crisis in the oil sector, not enough money is coming. They have land in Niger State.
Yeah.
Bello should go and organize and start exploiting the resources in Niger State, even if it is agriculture. Of course, you will give the excuse that there are security problems. But what of those states where there are also resources? So this is the big question. Governors should not come and be talking about going to Abuja to go and collect money every month. We expect states to be centers of productivity. The excuse is unacceptable. We need creative thinking, more rigorous thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, quick one from me, less than 10 seconds. There's a Yoruba adage that says, if you make pounded yam in a leaf and you put the soup in a shell of groundnuts, the person that will be full will be full.
Well,
anyway, thank you very much,
a lot. That is it on What's Trending today on Arise Morning.
Thank you very much.